Hi, this is Travis from the Stephanie Miller Show. Please enjoy this clip on the Political Voices Network.
We just keep saying this, Travis, right? They get pantsed every single time, and they just keep doing it. Raskin
every time.
and Goldman and all of these fantastic. Stacey Plaskett this morning is in the process of disemboweling Jim Jordan again. I mean,
And RFK Jr.
It really is like the Harlem Globetrotters. They are the Washington Generals. They just keep coming back. Right?
Yeah, it's. I mean, if someone has to remind Jim Jordan to actually swear in a witness, you know he's doing an upstanding job. He's doing a fine job.
I mean, give me some more Representative Garcia yesterday.
Now, this is, of course, in stark contrast to the Trump crime family. The majority conveniently glazes over the Trump's family's foreign dealings. The Trump family, who, of course, were actually appointed to White House senior jobs, from Ivanka's Chinese trademarks to Jared's Qatari real estate bailout and $2 billion in Saudi private equity money. So where's that investigation? They were actually in the White House. And I think Chris Christie, one of the Republicans running for president, said it best, of course, in the former governor. This is his quote, not mine. The grift from the family is breathtaking. It's breathtaking. Jared Kushner and Ivanka Kushner walk out of the White House and months later get $2 billion from the Saudis. Continue. You think it's because it's some kind of investigative genius or investing genius? Or is it because he was sitting next to the President of the United States for 4 years and doing favors for the Saudis? Now, these are quotes from a man who's known Trump and the Kushners for years. These people are in the White House every day, formally making policy, unlike Hunter Biden.
Yeah, thank you. So, I mean, that was the other thing, is they were able to showcase the unbelievable corruption of the Trump family. Because we can say it till we're blue in the face, but the Republicans are the one that allowed all of this to be televised to remind everybody of the corruption of the Trump crime family.
We knew that they were going to walk right into this. If they were going to try and bring up anything, it now opens the door for people like that to be like, now let's look at the kid. Let's look at Kushner. Let's look at Ivanka. If you really want to talk about this, you started this. We're going to finish it. Yeah. They do it every time. They hand in their pants every time.
Total rake factory. They just walk right into a bunch of rakes every single time. And Jasmine Crockett, fantastic. She gives me life. Here she is yesterday.
I want to talk about what we should be prosecuting. We should be looking at the fact that in 2017, Trump's first year in office, he also made $6.5 million from China, his tax returns show. The source of the China payments is not clear from the returns. The payments were a surprise since Trump is an outspoken critic of the $5.8 million that Hunter Biden made. The difference is Trump was our president when he made this money from China, whereas I'm sure you would agree with me, Hunter Biden has always been a private citizen.
Yeah, thank you. One last one, Jasmine Crockett.
We've got a lot of other stuff. In fact, it's clear that Trump never paid more than $750 in taxes for, I want to say, a total of like 2 years of his taxes, which is absolutely insane. But we also know that it showed that Trump claimed large cash donations to charities, but the report said the IRS did not verify them. The report also said that while Trump's tax filings were large and complicated, the IRS does not appear to have signed experts to work on them. That is shameful.
Yeah. We were saying, like, nobody, if his name wasn't Biden, would have been prosecuted for what Hunter Biden did. I mean,
absolutely not. They needed to do something. We know this is all distraction because it's going to be indictment after indictment after indictment. And now, of course, they're saying anytime there's something about Hunter Biden, they're like, oh, look, the Democrats are now another indictment. I'm like, this isn't the Democrats. This is one that's the federal government. It's right. States courts
and
judges.
Juries. It's juries of his peers. And Jamie Raskin made a good point. Because first of all, we met whistleblower X, Travis, our mystery date.
It's boring.
Right. Raskin said both witnesses acknowledge it's very common for agents, supervisors, and prosecutors to disagree about investigative steps and charging decisions. Shapley previously testified such disagreements happened with 90+% of his work. Meanwhile, Mr. X said even his direct supervisors disagreed with his conclusion about the strength of the case against Hunter Biden. All of this suggests that what these two people claimed was a conspiracy from top to quash investigations into the president's sons was actually just day-to-day ordinary debate about how to go about the investigation or whether or not there was enough evidence. Just another giant nothing burger served up by, what's his name, James Comer, right?
Yeah, every time. Every time. The giant nothing burgers are all over the place. My favorite is when they try and present a nothing burger and it turns into a full meal for the Democrats every time.
Yes, exactly. Not to be confused with a Hitler burger, which is entirely different. Okay. So, again, is he Madam or Flowers? I can't remember. Senator Cornpone of Hooterville? Senator Kennedy?
He's actually the love child of Flowers and Madam.
Okay.
That's why he looks like both of them.
What does Charlie Pierce call him? Senator Jubilation T. Cornpone, I believe.
From the great state of Hooterville.
This guy's, he's just confusing. Dana, try to just gobble this up.
Are Republicans on Capitol Hill united in defending the former president?
Well, I think most I can't speak for all Republicans. I'll speak for me. I don't know what the facts are. I haven't seen the indictment yet. I will say in terms of the politics, and this is a cynical point of view, but I think some Americans are drawing this conclusion that President Biden and President Trump have a codependency.
I say.
If
thank you, Dr.
was
Phil.
elected to the Senate.
Thank you, Dr.
exactly
Phil, for that short course in bullology. Thank you.
I say.
I say, what's the matter with you, boy? He went on to say,
President Trump wants President Biden as an opponent because he thinks he'll be the easiest to beat. President Biden wants President Trump as an opponent because given President Biden's poll numbers, he polls right up there with Bud Light. He thinks President Trump is the only person he can beat. Now, one of them is going to be wrong.
I'm.
don't you feel like you're just sitting on a porch whittling, listening to the stupidest person ever?
Yeah, with a guy having sex with a pig and a banjo playing in the background. Like that's what it feels like.
All right, let's take this into the
Big finish.
Put this in the barn now.
I hate to say this, but I think it's a fair observation. I think the Justice Department's going to do pretty much at the senior levels, whatever they can to make sure that President Trump is the nominee, because that's who President Biden wants.
Who are you endorsing?
I don't know. I'm going to wait and see what happens like everybody else.
All right.
Wait,
I'm
what?
endorsing Elmer Fudd.
What? Wait, what? Is Buford Pusser running? I don't understand. The DOJ is trying to
make Trump look bad,
so
so
by
Trump will get
indicting
more
him for
support.
his obvious
So
crimes. Okay, he's
forcing the Republicans to pick Trump as their nominee because they're indicting him.
Okay. Because apparently, I guess, Dana, it is a plus being as big a crook as possible on the Republican side.
I think now you can't get elected unless you've committed some sort of a crime.
Yes, that's the new bar. Right. There it is, my first drink of the day, Z-Biotics Pre-Alcohol Probiotic. Many of you know my story. I stopped drinking wine for 3 years during COVID, during the lockdown as part of a health reset. Now I drink wine in moderation, but this is an amazing new product. I've always believed in probiotics. And Z-Biotics, check this out. You drink just one of these. It's the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by PhD scientists to tackle rough mornings after drinking. I am using this and I feel great in the morning. I don't have to worry if I have an extra glass of wine, I still feel great in the morning. Here's how it works. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut. I've always had acid reflux problems. It is this byproduct, not dehydration, that's to blame for your rough next day. Z-Biotics produces an enzyme to break this byproduct down. All I know is it works. It is Z-Biotics Pre-Alcohol Probiotic. Go to zbiotics.com/political voices or scan the QR code on the screen right now.
George Santos
really
is just ahead
is.
of his time.
Yes, okay. Christina in South Carolina, you're on with Dana. Hi, Christina.
Hi. First off, my sympathy, Steph, for the loss of your mom. We're all thinking of you.
Thank you, honey.
Absolutely. So I wanted to call and share a quick story about an experience I had with someone bringing a gun where there should not be a gun. I did want to preface it by saying my husband and I have bought Protect Kids Not Guns swag from Stephanie Miller's website.
Oh, yay, thank you.
Yay, absolutely. I live in a state that's an open carry state, and the government is trying to pass new legislation to copy Florida and make it a permitless carry state, which is absolute BS. I have a 4-year-old who's turning 5 in October, and I just gave birth to a 2-month-old. I'm terrified of. I live in a small town in South Carolina. I'm terrified of taking my son to a small town parade, a small town festival, a small town street market, because of this open carry law and the fact that they actually want to open it up, even wider and more stupidly. My husband and I took our son to the zoo 2 weekends ago, and our son is a picky eater. We can't take him anywhere without packing food for him. We are not allowed to bring a cooler of food into the zoo for our son because he won't eat any of the food at the zoo because they're afraid we're going to feed the animals a peanut butter sandwich. However, we were at the zoo 2 weekends ago at the splash pad with our son, and there was a man with a Glock on his hip, open carry, hanging out around in the middle of 100 kids, 100 parents, like a 95-degree day. And my husband goes up to one of the staff members and says, "There's a man here with a Glock on his hip. That's allowed?" And they're like, "Yeah."
Yeah, but no peanut butter sandwich.
But we can't bring food in for our son? Yeah.
I know. Yeah, I know.
Seriously.
Are you talking about this stupid, have you seen this stupid Jason Aldean song? And by the way, it promotes violence. It promotes violence. Thank you, honey, for that story. It's promoting violence.
It doesn't just promote violence. It sounds like a modern-day lynching.
Yeah. And I'm like, you know what happened to your small town of what happened in Vegas that happened to you? The same, your whole small town would get blown away, you idiot. A high-powered weapon on a high floor of any building in any town would blow away half the town. 60 people died in Las Vegas going to see him, and he writes this dumb song.
Yeah, he was on stage.
Yeah, he just... And you could tell this is like an BLM or whatever. You can just see the veiled racism in it. It's promoting violence. It's like, try that in a small town. But really? We'll blow you away in a small town?
Small town full of good old boys.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking? Yeah. With their little Charger and Roscoe Pico train. I mean, that's what I think of when I hear good old boys. It's this racist undertone. It's awful.
Yeah. Okay. Speaking of... First of all, you've heard this story. It just keeps sticking in my head that Lauren Boebert was given a little pin. The little girl that wore the green Converse sneakers that was blown away in Uvalde. And that's the only way they could identify her as her green sneakers. That was the pin, the anti-gun violence pin someone gave Lauren Boebert, and she deliberately threw it in the trash right in front of them. I mean...
She's a horrible human being.
Yeah, and then Marjorie Taylor Greene waving Hunter Biden's pic around on the floor of Congress yesterday. Here she is.
One more second here. So when Hunter Biden paid for this woman to do this with him, to travel across state lines from California to Washington, D.C. on June 15th, this is a violation of the Mann Act. This was prostitution.
Okay. And then she sent it in an email, which is dissemination of porn, right? It would be revenge porn had they dated. I mean, it just... you don't even know how to use the words. The words beyond despicable, right? On a family radio show.
That's what I tweeted. I'm like, McCarthy, take out the trash. It's smelling up the house. Like that. It's embarrassing. I mean, she's calling Jack Smith a little bitch. She's doing this on the House floor with Hunter Biden's photos. And what's funny, and I guarantee this because she is this kind of a person. If Hunter Biden wasn't as attractive as he is, she would have never shown a picture of Hunter Biden on the House floor. Because they do this with women. They put down women, they put down men. So for her to even pick up a naked photo of him and show him on the House floor, there's so many layers of grossness to this entire thing.
Yeah. There it is, my first drink of the day, Z-Biotics pre-alcohol probiotic. Many of you know my story. I stopped drinking wine for 3 years during COVID, during the lockdown as part of a health reset. Now I drink wine in moderation, but this is an amazing new product. I've always believed in probiotics. And Z-Biotics, check this out. You drink just one of these. It's the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by PhD scientists to tackle rough mornings after drinking. I am using this and I feel great in the morning. I don't have to worry if I have an extra glass of wine, I still feel great in the morning. Here's how it works. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut. I've always had acid reflux problems. It is this byproduct, not dehydration, that's to blame for your rough next day. Z-Biotics produces an enzyme to break this byproduct down. All I know is it works. It is Z-Biotics pre-alcohol probiotic. Go to zbiotics.com/politicalvoices or scan the QR code on the screen right now.